Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Today we are talking about a very contentious subject. Where is Year 6? So, we all have come to realise that Year 5 is never going to end at this point. Now, it's long. Look, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32. It started the year at like 15, but they kept adding on new chapters, and today I'm going to be getting into my thoughts on why I think this is happening, because I do think there are reasons behind it. So the first reason is potentially that because they know they're coming towards the end of our final year, they are making the best use of what they have already built. So if they go into, ending year 7 too quick, yes, they have plans, by the way, to make further content. They have talked potentially about looking at, and we've already explored, career options. But you can see how that would lead them to branch out into loads of different realms of, being an aura, magizoologist, all these different things that you'd have to build almost a separate game around to have that. For them, it makes, it's good for them to have this last as long as possible, because they can use this same base of, structures of Hogwarts School. And yes, they can add little things outside of it, but when they're adding those things, these things will remain in place. And they've already got classes that we've done, so you can use them as a kind of template to build on when you're having these other interactions that we're seeing currently. We still go into the same classroom, but we have an interaction with rock stars. We've got Snape. We've got tests coming in, and so it's a lot easier for them to create content via that way. So that, in my kind of mind, that's the biggest reason I think they've extended it. But the optimist in me wants to think that there are other reasons behind it, logically, that, could better the game. So we are, six chapters away from finishing this year, and we've all been aware of these pranks have been going on for far too long, and a lot of people are just sick of the pranks now, which I personally am. And we've got this one last prank, which, okay, I'm looking forward to that, just because that's we're finally going to get this painting, which I don't feel like we've had much connection to the actual cursed vault. Yes, we're looking for the painting, but I don't know, it hasn't felt as though the cursed vault is just right around the corner. When it will come, I think it will be a bit of a surprise, because all the other ones we've slowly made progress towards it, and I know we're progressing towards finding this painting, getting this painting back off Peeves, but we've never even seen it, and therefore it's very difficult to know. I'll kind of have the same sense that you have with the Cursed Vaults before, that we're gonna face it. Take the Cursed Vault number 1, we would go and face it, and then we'd learn that we would need to go back and get more help for it. We need to learn different spells, and it's felt different. So I am excited to see what this Cursed Vault is like, but the reason why I think this year is being held off in terms of finishing is because year 6 is therefore not too far on the. I reckon we usually get subquest chapter, subquest chapter. So we're probably looking at about 3 months. No, 2 months. About 2 months, less than 2 months before we actually finish. May actually be, actually maybe more than 2 months. But so it's going to be quite a while until we actually see the end of year 5 and the beginning of year 6. When year 6 begins, it's gone on for too long. Our characters, this issue with our characters do not age. We are in year 5 and we still look the same as we looked in year 1. Now, that could do with a change, just slightly a bit more aging, bigger build, slightly taller, would it's the aesthetic change that needs to happen, because a lot of people are just like, well, this doesn't make sense because we haven't aged in 5 years going on 6 years. So I think they could be working on just perfecting that going into year 6. I think for them, when they go into year 6, they are going to make a big deal of it. I think like they did with year 5. And so I'm hoping they're holding off on it for those reasons. They are creating new content alongside this as well. So what this platform, this template that they have around Hogwarts School does allow them to build add-ons like the Creature Preserve, like we've just had the recent change. What did they recently add? The dueling, which I always forget. Please, Jam City, can you just put a reminder of the dueling club, like just a little notification, because I always forget to duel. It goes up by 2 every time you do it. Can anybody confirm or deny whether it will keep going up? Like it was 14, 16 out of that many wins, because I'm seeing that coming. But what we're seeing is that they are developing the game. They're adding new little mini games within it that we saw in the video previous to this one. And year 6 is going to be an interesting one, because we are finally going to be potentially moving towards our final Cursed Vault, closer to Jacob, closer to ending the storyline, which is probably gonna, we're gonna finish the next Cursed Vault probably in year 7. I think I can see that happening, because 2 years to do one vault. It might be that year 7 is something completely different, like we have found the final Cursed Vault, found Jacob, and there's something where some storyline where we're dealing with the after effect or protecting them from this power, or we've actually got this power. So it'll be interesting to see what the storyline is going to look like for the next 2 years. But I think it's close, moving in close to being. Let's just have a look at the past. When did year 5 begin? Because it's been so long. Year 4. Okay, we got year 4. I'm just looking through my videos and seeing when it was that year 5, chapter 1 actually began. Because it could be that they are looking to do it on a yearly basis. Okay, so year 5, do we trust Ben? Oh, where there was doubts. September 2018. That was a while ago then, wasn't it? So September 2018. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 probably will be 9. And even if they add on more, we're looking at the past. Year 5 has taken 9 months to complete. 9 months, which is crazy when you think about it. It's like how long you would wait for a film to come out. And, the same Harry Potter one, that was what we'd wait, year to 2 years for the next one to come out. So it's almost like they're running it in that same type of vein. With what we could see is obviously we get content every week. And I think that forces it to kind of seem very slow. Whereas, if they just released year 5 in one go, the storyline, you could probably tolerate those bits, the fillers, a little bit more. But the fact that, you complete them in 3 days and then you're waiting 4 days for the next update just makes it feel slower. They are creating a ton of content. A ton. If you think about it. They are creating a storyline around year 5 that we've done. The first chapter was, do we trust Ben? I think there's been all those events where we've now found out that Ben was under the Cruciatus curse. So there's a ton of content that we have. I think we just lose sight of that one when it's going over for so long. With the additions of the Duel and the Magic Creature Reserve, huge subquests within that we've had, and maybe lesser ones, we're seeing them add a ton of content in year 5, and it means that if they're planning the same, quality of content and going at the same pace for year 6, they're going to have other things that they're working on. I can see Quidditch being in year 6. I can see them working out a system because they have requested, using the insiders questionnaires. They've requested us to give feedback on what we'd most like to see. And so many people have asked for Quidditch. If they're going to do Quidditch, it has to be done well. It cannot be a just kind of half-assed try at doing Quidditch. It needs to be a game within itself. And that's going to be really hard to do because you're working with a complex kind of system of a flying broom that can move up and down, forwards, backwards. Whereas if you're, playing like even a car, you're just sat on a, x-axis is always the same, maybe a little bit of slope here and there, but you're working with a broom, which is like, can go everywhere. So that's one thing. They then have to work into the system of like, where are you a seeker? Are you a beater? Do you are you gonna have to budges? Are you quaffling? Every day you're quaffling. It just, how are they gonna build a game that complex effectively? I'm struggling to see it based on the way the game is. It is more story based. Let's face it, with a tap based system, it isn't very strategic. Okay, when we get those little things in between, like the focus, those things add a little bit of a strategy element and skill element. So the Quidditch has to be done right. It cannot be like a tap, and I don't know, it needs to have some skill to it. Like if you were playing, what's the thingy with the cars? The cars and the goals. Why can I not think of that? Played it for ages. Anyway, the thing with the cars, where there's a ball, football. It's basically football, but with cars. It's not going to come to me. But something like that, where there is a genuine skill element to it, and it's quite complex. That's what I want to see in Quidditch, but I don't think we're going to get that. I don't think we are. So we can see that going into year 6, we're probably going to see the same in terms of a lot more content. Magical Creature Reserve is going to get bigger in that we've still got 1, 2 places that we haven't been. We have things unlocked in these different places. Currently, by the way, I've just bought a Chimera. So I now have a Chimera, a Gnome, and a Grindylow, which I'm working on. By the way, when you use these, you can get huge rewards. I got 12 red books from leveling up for one of them. Still have the Thestral. The Thestral is one that I wanted to get, but I just didn't want to wait. So look, the Chimera is scary. I'll show you at some point in the next couple of videos. When you feed it, it's fierce. Like, I'm amazed that the one we faced twice didn't kill us, for reals, and Liz got it under control. So, Magical Creature Reserve, we're probably going to see them build upon that. In terms of new locations, what would you like to see? What would you like to see them build on that we already know about in the Wizarding world? For me, one of the things I'd like to see would be the Ministry of Magic. That would be amazing. It's something that they can definitely build within the storyline because Harry's been to the Ministry of Magic within his schooling years. So why can't we? It'd be interesting to kind of go there and do some investigating. Just see it as well, because the Ministry is a really nice looking place. That'd be great to see that. Where else could we have? So we've had Hogsmeade, we've had Diagon Alley. There are other locations in the book that we can definitely go to. So let me know your thoughts on that. I really want to know what locations you would like to see. We've got 6 chapters left, potentially with the chance of increasing that to more. And they're my thoughts. That's why I feel that year 5 has been so long. It is a mix of, they're making use of this game in terms of content, and it's a business as well. So it makes sense to have it last over, 2 years rather than 1 year, because you're just, getting a lot of people's jobs, income, it's safe. And so that's definitely kind of the biggest motivating factor, I think, in my mind. But the optimist in me does say, and based on experience of what we've already got, is that there will be more content coming with this game. There will be more than just the storyline and more than the subquests. We might see Quidditch come into play, other locations, and that is why I believe it has been so long until we've actually finished year 5 and just pranked so much. So, let me know your thoughts. Would really love to hear them in the comments section down below. That is all for this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content and information. That is all from me. See you guys soon.